Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Super Justice League of Bat Friends, episode 173. I am one of your hosts, Chris, alongside my co-host, the world champion, Joe. What's going on, Joe?
It's the Flash. He's the fastest man in the world.
Terrible.
It's Mara. Do you want to say anything about her?
Yeah, she can come in my bedroom.
I watched the honest trailers for Aquaman 2, or Aquaman The Lost Kingdom, whatever stupid title you want to do. And that was pretty good, because he's like, no, don't show Mara! They yell whenever you show Mara!
I own collections of all of the Peter David Aquaman.
Okay.
I've never read them, Joe.
Of course not. Did you, see that one of the, 60s and 70s era Aquaman artists just passed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, but we're gonna get into this two-parter here.
Mm-hmm.
This made me want to pull those out of my closet and start reading them because
Why are you putting Aquaman in the closet?
I put all the books that I haven't read yet in the closet.
Why?
Because
They should be loud and proud.
Because there's a lot of.
By the way, there's those.
Oh.
I pulled out my omnibuses over there.
There's a lot in the closet that are stored away for me to pull out and read one day.
Yeah.
There's also a lot throughout my house that I'm currently in the middle of reading. Which, by the way, I didn't tell you, I'm currently in the middle of reading George Perez's Wonder Woman. Remember we talked about that last time?
Yeah.
It's very enjoyable.
Did you see, I mean, I know you did see that, but this is a podcast, so I'm going to say, did you see, I like being self-aware sometimes, they're going to reprint all the DC versus Marvel stuff except for JLA versus Avengers.
Yes.
And apparently, somebody else, I already forgot his fucking name, one of the creators who maybe touched kids or something.
To which, with that, I get not wanting to give that dude money, but, just print it. Just fucking print it. We all want to read it. But anyways, yes, because I had,
Just have Marvel publish it, then they won't have to pay him.
Exactly. Modern problems require modern solutions.
It's true. It's true.
So I bought the Invincible, they call them compendiums, they're on the buses.
Yep. Well, no, they're compendiums. A proper omnibus is everything. A compendium is not.
Okay, I'll give you that. But
yeah.
Even the omnibuses now are.
I know, and that's where the omnibuses are incorrect.
So I bought those because I love Invincible, and I was
Okay, so compendiums. I'm assuming it's the entire series because we're at that point. How many issues are there in each?
For the Invincible one?
Yes.
I think it's 35.
Because I'm trying to know. Because I have the hardcovers that are bigger. I forget what they called them at the time.
Yeah.
But that was from back when I was getting caught up. So that was when they were on issue 50. So I have the first 3 that I think got me issue 45.
It could be more. I'd have to look at the actual thing, but
okay.
It is. Because it's not only just complete Invincible, it's also the fucking Rexplosion series.
Did they do Guardians of the Globe?
Yeah, or the Globe.
I picked up Guardians of the Globe when it came out. I read that.
Fun.
It was. It was very enjoyable.
So I picked those up, and I was like, okay, I don't buy omnibuses. This is my one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then Marvel gets ROM back.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, fuck, well, I'll buy the ROM ones. There's only 2 of them, I'll buy them.
Uh-huh.
And I'm done, Joe. It's over.
Sure about that?
And then somebody decides to announce we're bringing back the crossover books. And we're going to do 2 $150 omnibuses about them.
Yup!
I can't, it's, once they get their grasp on you, Joe, they find ways to pony back in.
Just be a pirate. Just be a pirate. Fuck it.
So, my
ideas deserve to be free. Go ahead.
Yes, my justification here is that there's a good chance that these never get printed again in my life.
It's true. Do you claim... IRS, turn this off. Do you claim any podcast income as income on your taxes?
Considering the podcast loses me money, no.
Well, you should be claiming that as a loss, then. You should be claiming that as an operating loss. You probably should actually be doing that.
Maybe, but we're not really a business, so...
That's well, you are sole proprietorship. I was going to say, if you did, you could legitimately claim those as a business expense because of their research. Because you are doing things in the comics sphere.
Yes. If I was smart enough, I would know what that is. I did like, though, that but I'm getting the original covers, I don't care. But the B cover for one of them is going to be a brand new Jim Lee that's has the cross. I think it's the Amalgam one.
Probably.
The Amalgam characters. So
I like the Amalgam stuff. I actually got some of the Amalgam stuff when it happened.
I do too. I bought them after the fact, but I have a bunch of them in single issues.
And I have the trade. It's funny too because I said to our friend that owns the shop, I said, I'm pretty sure I have trades of them that they did a few years ago. And he's like, really? I go, I'm pretty sure I bought them here, so I think so. And I think I asked, they were in previews, and I said, hey, order these for me. Either that or he bought a collection and they were there, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to grab those.
Yeah, how they're not doing Justice League versus Avengers, though, come on.
I agree with our friend. So the reason they're not doing it at the same time is because they just did the charity thing. So I think there's a feeling of, let's not... I know it was, a year and a half ago or whatever, but let's give it a little more time. I agree, and I hope that what they're going to do is they're just working something out to then release it and do something special where, maybe they do more than they did last time and some money still goes to George, or...
Here's why I don't care.
Okay. Well, that's fair. You don't have to care.
Assuming things are done the correct way, Joe.
Sure.
Which, to be fair, DC's been on the better side of that. If you republish it, the money still goes to George's family.
I know.
So, to say, we did this charity to help George's medical bills and everything, and we don't want to stomp on that. It's like, well, that was done, the money was made, and you grossly underprinted it.
That's true.
And now we're years past it, and if we reprint it now properly, the money still goes to George's family. So, what are we really stomping on?
Well, actually, George was working for Marvel at the time, so royalties from that book would presumably be dealt via Marvel royalties. So
possibly, yes.
It's potentially that his family wouldn't get the money.
Like I said, I'm going on a limb here to say that DC's been better about it, and DC for some reason one's publishing these.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice.
So
I'm curious about why that is being done, because that's a choice. That's a choice that's being made.
Yeah, because I don't think this is a thing where you, a year from now, print the Marvel version.
No.
It doesn't make sense, because everybody's going to buy it. Like me, they're going to buy it off the bat, because this is never happening.
That might be why they're holding back on JLA Avengers, that Marvel might be the one that's going to print that, so Marvel's going to get more... Because if DC's putting the money up to print it, they're getting more to pay that back. There's no way they're just splitting it 50-50 because DC's putting the money up.
Yeah.
So, if Marvel's
basically getting a licensing fee.
Yeah. So if Marvel's making the calculation that JLA versus Avengers will sell more and wants to be the ones to therefore reap more of the benefits, that may be part of it too.
Yeah. I do think it's been long enough since... Because how long ago was it?
I don't remember. Because I never got my copy.
It's been a few...
I was literally the person that told our friend the day, before, I was the first one to tell him it was happening. I didn't get a copy.
We've gone over this.
Yeah, I know.
What made me mad was, pretend like you didn't get any copies. Don't tell me you got one and you kept it for yourself.
Yeah.
Just pretend like you didn't get any. I'm going to be mad about that for a long time.
It would also be different if he didn't also own the originals.
That was the other thing, is I was a little bit on the edge of if it's available, let me know. Because I do own the originals.
See, I own nothing. I literally never read it and didn't own any of them.
If he would have told me I decided to sell it to this guy, he's never read it before.
Right.
Or, whatever.
Yeah.
Fine.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Now that we brought up our past trauma, Joe, let's watch Season 1, Episode 6 of Justice League, titled The Enemy Below, Part 1. We have, I believe, a new writer in Kevin Hops and director Dan Ribba.
Ribba.
Ribbida.
Thunder rumbling.
Give them Aquaman.
So I bought one of these on Amazon, and it's actually been kind of nice because there's less risk of.
I bought a pack of them. I used one in the car, and
I bought another 2 because I accidentally dropped this in the van and it bent my other charger. Which luckily it bent the charger. It didn't do anything to my fucking brand new phone. So I bought a 2-pack.
We're talking about the 90-degree angle charger, everybody.
The ones I bought for the van were not 90 degree because I just want a couple in the van. It's gonna sit in the van. It's gonna get cold. Who knows? So I'm not gonna. But it was still like $5 for 2. I'm like, all right, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll fucks with that.
Aquaman.
The USS Defiant.
You about to get a missile up your defiant ass.
I have a question that literally just occurred to me.
Okay.
Atlanteans live underwater.
Correct.
Why do they have warships?
Why?
Why would it ever occur to them to build a warship?
So we're assuming that Aquaman is the only one that can swim really fast.
I don't think so. I think we see other people in this, other Atlantean soldiers
swim like at super.
Maybe
speed.
not super speed, but
Yeah, like.
But if Aquaman, okay. Furthermore, if Aquaman's because we do there's a Royal Ski-Doo. I made a note of that later. But if Aquaman's the only one that can swim super fast, then that means you would definitely not build warships because the warships would give the other Atlanteans an advantage against the superhuman. Whereas if they're just all out in the open sea, he can fucking flash around and fuck them up.
Yeah, but he's a warmongering king.
But he's not. We find that out.
You don't know what kind of underwater wars he's going about.
Oh, I think I do.
I would say, well, I can't. So this is why I say, do we assume super speed? Let's assume they swim at a normal pace.
Okay.
I could walk everywhere, Joe. Or I could drive a car and fly a plane.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. They have other modes of transportation.
Yeah.
I don't have a private jet.
No. But our government does.
Okay, but again, to the point, what underwater is threatening them? Now, if you explain that they basically salvaged Cold War era technology and then repurposed that into battleships to fight the surface world, okay, Derek. Okay, Derek. Okay. But that is clearly not explained, since no one knows who the fucking Aquaman or Atlantis is until this happens. And they have some fucking alien technology.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously living underwater doesn't hinder the human experience. It actually enhances it, allowing them to have better technology.
Is that why the frogs are gay?
No, that's the government putting chemicals in the water that are turning the freaking frogs gay.
Love this, too. I'm going to put on a mask because I can't breathe underwater. Fucking super.
This is the most X-Men thing. Take out the Sentinels.
It's true. John just fucking shit up.
So they can breathe underwater, but yet their civilization is in a bubble with no water.
But I'm not sure. That's what I remember I watched it at the time, but that was like 8 years ago. I'm not sure if there's actual air in the fucking Atlantean city.
Well, I don't know if there's air. I mean, there's gotta be air because there's no water.
Is there?
Otherwise,
though?
it'd be a vacuum.
Are you sure there's no water?
Well,
look, they have the Ski-Doos! They have the Ski-Doos!
Phenomenal. Yeah, because the Justice League walks around in Atlantis without masks on.
Do they?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't fucking remember.
I could be. I've been wrong once before, Joe. So I could be wrong.
Got Aqua Badass over here. No way, man. I'm angry and black. You gonna have to listen to me. Bitch, I'm underwater. Get fucked.
I'm gonna put all the people in my special ring slide.
Wee! Wee!
It just looks like a giant bong.
Fucking hotboxing all the sailors. The fucking Ski-Doos.
That's phenomenal.
I'm telling you, that's why you don't need ships. They got Ski-Doos.
You gotta shoot the missiles off somehow.
On the Ski-Doos. Tube technology.
We got the fucking Quinjet.
Yeah, that was a weird choice.
Those Ski-Doos are very phallic in nature.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. At the World Assembly, negotiate for peace. I've seen Superman 4.
Or you could stay the fuck out of the water.
It's true. That is an option that is available to you.
We're in a bubble. This isn't going to prove my point because, I mean, they're walking around.
All right.
Doesn't necessarily mean there's...
But then why? Why? Y'all can breathe underwater. Mara looking like a fucking treat over there. Like a total snack. We have... Yeah, why do the Atlanteans have advanced technology? Explain it. Sure, you realize, don't call me Shirley.
You see, Joe...
Hold your tongue, Brack. Fucking Brack from Space Ghost over here.
There was this mass extinction of mankind thousands of years ago.
It was a flood.
It
was a flood.
No.
These are the sinners that the Lord tried to wipe from the face of the earth, and they learned how to breathe because the devil taught them how. Atlanteans are an affront and an abomination before the Lord.
While I appreciate the joke very much, there legitimately is a theory that there was this mass extinction. Actually, I don't think it's theory. I think it's fact that there's a mass extinction that brought humans down to like fucking nothing, and then we had to build back up from it. The theory...
That is not a fact.
It's not a fact.
I don't think it's even a theory.
It is 100% a theory.
Well, okay.
Well,
I'm sure some crazy religious people believe it. That's just what I was about to say. Yeah.
Because I know there's a difference between hypothesis and theory and scientific.
No. My last I knew, when people look at, like, because there are multiple flood myths, that...
I'm not talking about flood.
Hold on, let me finish my fucking thought.
You keep bringing up floods, though.
Yeah, because that's usually what it is. That's usually a localized event that in story and in storytelling is treated as if the world ended because people are isolated.
Yes.
But, like, as far as, like, in the geological record, I am fairly confident. I'll say, we'll go 87%, that there is no evidence of a mass extinction of humanity.
Okay. I've never done research on this. This is stuff... I've heard stories...
You're just Joe Roganing it up. It's fine.
No.
It's fine.
It's not even from Rogan.
I'm not even... No.
But,
I'm not... That was meant to be fun and tongue-in-cheek.
Well, you see... You have to understand what the world is now, Joe.
Ski-Doos! Ski-Doos!
So, where my joke was going this whole time,
yeah.
when you had to bring reality into all this, was that there was a mass extinction, and these were part of the people that had the advanced technology, but they fell into the water, evolving into Atlanteans. So, when the rest of the world was trying to get back up from the mass extinction and rebuild society, they still had the advanced technology. So, they're really living in past technology.
Ski-Doos!
We wasted a lot of time there, Joe.
You had to bring up fucking bullshit mass extinction.
Just because I triggered your fucking flood warning. This is weird.
Yeah, it is. It totally is.
Gives 0 fucks about cars.
Out of the way, meathead. Fuck your car. Yeah, that'll teach you to be a dickhead. And then the cop. And Aquaman's just like, nah, diplomatic immunity.
Whatever the fuck I want is what I'm doing.
Where do you think you're going? Wherever the fuck I want.
Do you know who I am?
I knew we couldn't trust that fish man. Fucking John's racist.
If it's Aquaman you want, he's not in Atlantis.
What, can you hear him? No, I'm watching the news. Like, that shot was set up very specifically for that joke. I don't care what anybody says. There was no fucking global flood.
I'm never going to bring up water around you anymore because you're just going to go off on the flood.
So, I told you my algorithm's all fucked. And I have, like...
Mine is perfection.
Christian mythology on it. And now I've started to see the videos where it's like, this just happened at the Dome of the Rock and the world is fucking mowing their mouth. It's like, okay, I don't need your fake bullshit.
There's one video that I was getting for a minute there. And I understand what they're trying to say. But...
The Jews shall not replace us?
Yes. But at the end of the day, they're wrong. And it's this video of a guy coming from the past to, like, time travel in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And he talks to this dude, and he's like, oh, yeah, like, everything's good. We've got all these things, blah, blah. Like, life is perfect. We live in utopia. And the guy's like, oh, what happened? It seems like everything was going downhill. And he goes, oh, the rapture happened and took away all the Christians. So I understand what he's going for there. But he's like, and so then there's no more religious people, so, like, we all just learn to get along. The problem there is in that moment, you learn that you were wrong. If that actually happened, like, you're wrong.
It depends.
And
it depends.
Let's undisputable truth. Fucking Jesus comes down, takes away all the good Christians, and leaves the sinners.
Sure.
Like, there's no denying it whatsoever. Like, you have learned that your entire reality is incorrect.
Yes. However, it does not mean that Jesus, or the God in question, is worthy of worship.
Not necessarily.
It means it simply means that they exist. It simply means they exist.
Do you not... Exactly. But that goes against everything atheists believe. That God exists. So you've learned that you're wrong. So in that moment...
Technically,
don't you believe...
No, if you're going to bring it up, I'm going to go technically.
No, technically.
Technically, atheists believe there is no good reason to believe that a God exists. If God reveals itself, there is now a good reason to believe God exists.
Very, very technically, but if you talk to an atheist, they'll tell you that flat out that God does not exist.
That's not true.
Okay, I'm not going to argue, but...
Good, you shouldn't.
When that happens, Joe, you do not believe that a majority of the people who witness this thing will now become Christian?
So I'm going to take your hypothetical as Batman emerges from the shadows on this Justice League fucking podcast, and there's a back to tank. I'll take your hypothetical at face value. Jesus comes down, takes the Christians up, and we know nothing else. Some people will become Christians. And a bunch of people will also be like, well, we don't know why they took them up. Hating gay people's still wrong.
No. I'm telling you that there is... I don't know what evidence you need, but there is 100% evidence you know exactly what happened. Everybody knows exactly what happened.
No, you're not listening to what I said. I said, yes, okay, God exists. Mm-hmm. That does not mean that hating gay people's okay, which is something that's in the Bible. So that's what I'm saying. We don't know what people did to be quote-unquote good Christians. If it just all of a sudden Jesus comes, a bunch of people who claim to be Christians are gone, because there's also going to be people who claim to be Christians who are left behind. This is what people don't think about when they think about this shit.
Yeah.
So all you've established is that God exists and took some people away. That's it. So yes, some people will become Christians.
I think you're too far into it.
No.
If you really look at normal people, they will just in that 100%, they will just be like, "Fuck."
Have
like,
you
I was
looked?
thinking wrong.
Have you looked at people?
Yeah.
You really think
I
people?
deal with them
Hold
on
on.
a regular
You
basis.
really think people will admit they're wrong? That's what you're fighting me on. That I'm being unrealistic on. That people will admit they're
If there was
wrong.
indisputable evidence of that, like,
Bruh.
yeah.
Bruh. You know better than that. You know better than that. If that's what you're if that's what you're hinging this argument on, you lose, bruh.
No, I think that would be like saying like fucking aliens come down and still being like, well, there's no aliens. Like,
there will be people that if aliens show up tomorrow.
I'm saying a majority. I'm not saying every single person. I'm saying a majority of people will make that transfer. You will have more Christians based on that moment. There will still be stubborn people that will be like, no, it wasn't really him. Yeah, I get it. Like.
And like I said, in that scenario, there will be Christians that didn't get taken up.
Presumably, yes.
Yes. Well, I mean, just yes.
Yeah.
Yes, not presumably. Yes.
Well, there's people that say they're Christian that aren't Christian. So,
like I said, there will be Christians who are left behind.
Yeah.
Yes. Superman's one weakness: electricity.
Yes, we've established this.
You got mad at me for bringing up the flood. You bring this shit up.
I get mad at you for bringing up flood. I get mad at you for keep redirecting the conversation to the flood when I wasn't talking about a flood.
But I wasn't. Again, you weren't listening. You were so focused on what you were.
I was trying to say something. You kept bringing up a flood, as if I was trying to talk about a flood. When I wasn't. That was
because most mass extinctions that people talk about are like, well, there was this huge flood because there are flood myths.
I acknowledged that, but I said that wasn't necessarily what I was talking about. You kept going back to the fucking flood, get mad about it. And I wasn't even mad. I was just trying to get my point across. Oh yeah, Deathstroke's in this episode with Aquaman. Deadshot, same person.
You're batting 1,000,000 tonight.
Yeah. Both assassins. One has a sword, one has a gun. Whatever. Both played by handsome black man in the DC films.
What?
Will Smith and Idris Elba. Oh no.
Yeah, that's why I'm person. Like, what? No, well, they're not the same person either. Idris Elba played Bloodshot.
That's Bloodshot, yeah.
Joe Manganiello played Deathstroke.
He's a handsome black man, too.
What?
I watched True Blood.
You need to go lay down, buddy.
I do. You throw me off with all the flood talk, Joe.
Nope, I think clearly the Lord has spoken to your spirit, and it's bothering you. The joke I wanted to make, but I couldn't because you were so insistent on it, was that maybe Jesus is just Cthulhu, and he just took the tasty ones up to eat. That's the joke I wanted to make. And you're just like, no! This is serious!
I'm trying to have a serious conversation about a hypothetical moment.
In the middle of the Justice League, saving Aquaman in a goddamn Bacta tank!
Listen, like any good cartoon, there's like 3 episodes of this, so we have plenty of time to talk about Aquaman. And,
I made a good joke about how Atlanteans are an abomination before the Lord. He tried to kill Aquaman. Gee, why would I love Sassy Shot. That's what I named him. That's what it was. He's Sassy Shot. He's like, gee, why would a hired gun try to kill somebody?
Wonder Woman.
Professional ethics.
If you make it worth my while.
I'm bad. I'll take it from here. I'm not gonna lie.
About to rape him.
This is a great moment. No, because he just walks him over and just tells him something. He just talks to him, and Deadshot's like, "Fuck." Okay, I'll tell. Like that's, and I get it. Oh yeah, you don't want to know because of course Superman is a fucking asshole eavesdropper.
Superman's the worst.
He is. Because he wasn't born on Earth. He is also an abomination before the Lord.
Yeah. Goddamn immigrants.
Fucking Kryptonian flood.
Yes, Joe. Yes. There's other ways to have mass extinctions, Joe.
See, that's how you make a joke, Chris.
If we haven't established 173 episodes in, I like to really explain my jokes, Joe.
Oh.
And these guys looking like fucking Aries.
Yeah, it's some weird shit. Well, it's because they have all this advanced technology.
Crocodile got all those teeth and no toothbrush.
I made an improvement on that the other day. I go, Mama says that RPGers are angry because they got all them dice and no one to roll with. And people understood it.
It's true.
By the way, again, for the record of why no one likes me, my post containing...
You're really obsessed with floods.
My post containing the Cheetah was my most commented on in like a year and a half.
Listen, America...
Not my art, not my t-shirts, not my hopes and dreams. A fucking Cheetah.
America really is obsessed with this Cheetah.
See, it's bad, because I know in my head it's chicken pizza, so it should be a chitza, but I just default to Cheetah because pizza.
Yeah, and that also sounds like mildly anti-Semitic.
Did I say anything about Islam? What are we doing in this episode? Oh, that's the one I meant to do?
I don't know.
Oh, well. Shit happens.
Just getting mad at each other. Talking about floods a lot.
Fucking floods.
As a matter of fact, Joe, the name of this episode will be Joe Hates Floods.
It should be Joe Doesn't Believe in Floods. Again, that's the better joke.
That is the better joke. Speaking of floods...
Together we are invincible, man. We are good, my brother. But people can still see us. JoePank.com, Patreon.com/JoePank, or ClicksNexus.com, Patreon.com/ClicksNexus, JoePank36 on Instagram if you want foot pics. Yeah.
If you want to support this show, like, subscribe, share, comment down below, and the 5 stars of the podcatcher. If you want to support me, at Fortress Chris on Twitter, and my new website, believeintheflood.com. See y'all here next time.
Whoa.